How has the success in Major League Baseball stadiums impacted now future plans?
Well, it shows that we can do it and we can do it at a high level. Fenway, we showed, wow, there can be magical moments. You know, they've never shut down that street that we shut down for Fenway, which is crazy to think about. 20,000 people in the streets hours before the game. I was like, whoa, all right, we got this. And then DC, the national stadium with flyovers and unbelievable helicopter entrances. And it was just like, all right, now we figured out how to put this all together. And then each step, Cleveland, a magical show, 23 trick plays, Cy Young Award winners pitching for us. It's like, okay. And every step of the way, we've got a little bit better. And now it's basically like, okay, we got this. Now what's next? And I think when you look at the amount of major league stadiums and even bigger stadiums.
Well, that's where I was going with it. Where's your head at with that?
Well, again, our goal is to try to take care of as many fans as possible. Mm-hmm. I know right now there's almost 3 million people on a wait list that can't come to our games that want to. So how do you do that? So then you have to think at what are bigger stadiums? So do I dream now of football stadiums and NFL stadiums and some of the biggest college football stadiums? When you look at it in an environment in the United States, like one of the craziest, loudest, most energetic, electric environments, you sometimes think of a college football stadium where everyone's standing and cheering. It's electric. Well, why can't Banana Ball play there? And so those are things I think about for next.
For me, it's not necessarily how many people can fit. Mm-hmm. It's how many people will experience the experience how we want them to. Mm-hmm. That is what it comes down to for us. If they are super far away and they are not going to see anything and they're not going to feel anything and they're not going to be able to high five a cast member, then it's a no for us. But if we can guarantee that we will have cast members and, princesses and magicians, if we can have all those people going through even the upper decks, taking care of people, then it will work for us. But we're going to have to level up those numbers in order to keep up with the growing number of fans.
Could you see 75 or 100,000 people at a game?
Yeah.
No question.
Because we've been slowly growing in that, I think we would just go on the same trajectory of just adding more people. We know what we need to add.
So do you already have a site picked out for it? Oh, you do?
I think we've been very fortunate on the opportunities that have been presented to us, and I think we have some great opportunities that are going to be coming in the future.
So if that was going to happen, when do you announce it?
October 3rd.
The Savannah Bananas are going to Nissan Stadium, home of the Tennessee Titans in Nashville, Tennessee!
We are at a point where we're going to larger venues, and that is something that we can do until we run out of large venues. And so then it's probably going to be creating our own venues or making a venue that was not thought of as a baseball field into now being a baseball field. I mean, there are just so many creative ways that we can entertain people.
So you eventually want teams across the country. What has to happen in your mind to have that take place?
When most people or most groups come together and they want to start a league, they say, hey, I want to build a league. All right, let's get a TV rights deal. Let's get a bunch of sponsors. And now we got money. Now let's go build it. And we'll put 8 teams, 12 teams, 16 teams, whatever that number is. I have a much different approach to that. I believe in creating fans first and then developing from there. So what I mean by that is we've been very, very strategic. The Bananas launched in 2016. The Party Animals launched in 2020. The Firefighters launched in 2024. We have built fans of each one of those brands before we even expand and say, hey, we're just going to start playing a bunch of other teams. People don't realize the Party Animals have more followers than every Major League Baseball team on TikTok. That's our second team. They started years after the Bananas, but they have 3+ million total followers, and they sold out their own headlining tour this year without the Bananas. They went to Vegas, they sold 20,000 tickets in 16 minutes. There's no Bananas there. So we build fans. So okay, now the Party Animals have a fan base. Okay, good. What about the Firefighters? Should we do a headlining tour with the Firefighters first? Okay, if we launch a 4th team, let's see, can they create fans pretty quickly? Do people want to see that? Is the game of Banana Ball so popular now that people want to just see what we would do because it's run? We don't know that yet. It's definitely a part of something we think about in the future, but we don't want to run it like a conventional league. You think about a conventional league, what are all the friction points? People don't really care in the beginning of the season, in the middle of the season they don't care, and then the playoffs they do kind of care. How do you make every game matter? How do you make every game count? All those things we got to think about and start testing in little tests before we can say, all right, let's run with this.
Fans, you've been asking for it, and now it is coming. We are so proud to unveil the Banana Ball Championship League starting in 2026.
And what about Banana Land and Banana World Complex?
Yeah, that's another big dream. So you go one dream at a time. You think about this, we're 10 years old. Where was Walt Disney in 1933? He hadn't even had done Snow White yet. He was still doing shorts. He just barely developed Mickey. So we're in the first inning and we're developing, so that's down the road, but it'll be crazier, wilder, and something that no one's ever imagined, because I still think about that every single day.
When I first met him, it was, this guy is kind of silly with some of these ideas. I can't believe it, but sure enough, he's faced the doubters, including myself, and we've sold out Fenway Park. We've gone on 90-game world tours, and it's like, holy moly, like now I'm at a point where anything he says, I'm like, that's possible then.
I see Banana Ball taking over the entire world, being able to spread ourselves not between the bananas and the party animals, but through the firefighters, visitors, and all the other teams we're going to be bringing. It's just going to bring more shows to fans, and it's just going to let us share more smiles with more people. And that is our goal, is to put more smiles on more people's faces,
Is there any reason to doubt Jesse's vision at this point?
No, he could be playing on the moon. We've joked about that since like 2018, I think. It takes the person who has crazy ambitions and crazy goals, and then it takes a lot of people around him that can make those things happen. Then you're making strides each and every day to eventually find our way to play on the moon.
In your mind, the time frame it takes to achieve some of these big long-term milestone goals would be what?
I don't think anyone would imagine we'd be selling out major league stadiums in a few years.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone would think we'd be selling out football stadiums. So I think when you look at time frame, I think it's happening a lot faster than anyone would imagine. Mm-hmm. But if you're asking, when some of these big goals will happen, I would be shocked if within the next 5 years we don't see a lot of these coming true.
How do you do that without taking outside money?
We've never taken $1.
Right.
You look at something like Banana Land, which could be $5 billion. That's probably light because of what I'm imagining. Now, do we have cash flow, or do our fans have the cash flow right now to cover that? No. But I know Walt Disney got creative in how he did it. He offered a TV show to ABC, The Wonderful World of Disney. And so I'm sure there's ways that we could get creative to offer some opportunities to be a part of it. But that's many years down the road. We can build everything else with our fan support, and with me and Emily and our company putting everything back in and reinvesting.
Explain, if you don't mind, the different verticals of your business currently.
Again, whatever's normal, do the exact opposite. So most teams, it is 50% or more. You got sponsorship, and then you got TV rights.
Yeah.
We're probably 45% tickets, 45% merchandise, and then 10% you've got little other verticals of food and bev, working with tourism companies, and our media. Very, very different. It's almost all, here's the difference, it's almost solely funded by our fans, not by outside corporations. I think that, if anybody looked on the outside, they'd say, you were leaving millions of dollars on the table. Mm-hmm. You could have millions of dollars in sponsorship, you could have millions of dollars in TV rights. Will you just charge shipping on your merchandise? There's millions of dollars there. Will you please just have people pay their own taxes and stop paying everyone's taxes? There's millions of dollars there. That doesn't matter to me. I think there will be opportunities that we look at teaming up with broadcast partners, where we still keep it non-exclusive on YouTube, but we team up with them. I think there's an opportunity there, and I think there's probably some opportunities with strategic partners that really their number one goal is to give things to our fans, to create an experience for our fans, and not to extract something from our fans.
What do you think the team's worth?
I think it's a question that a lot of people are putting numbers on now. It's not something
well, and that's why I'm asking too.
Yeah, but I guess, and I want to say this without trying to give a political answer, it doesn't matter to me. Because if someone says it's worth $1 billion, what does that mean? I was built, I love this, our team loves what we do, and what would I do with the money? So I know it's a good question. Hey, the bananas are worth, or Banana Ball's worth, or all the teams are worth X. But that's has almost zero interest in me.
Well, but if for no other reason, then I'm sure it's in enjoyable is you hear
Yeah.
numbers from
Yeah.
people. It's another metric that can be used to show your growth and
Correct.
success, even if you're never going to give
Correct.
up a piece of it.
It's a metric that can, on the outside, can drive a lot of people to look at it.
Yeah.
But the metric that matters to me is the amount of fans we're serving. And I want to say this very clearly. We played in front of 1 million fans this past year. That's more than any NFL team, more than any NBA team. Next year, we're going to play in front of over 2 million. Okay? I love that metric. Look at how many fans that we're serving every year. Because if we're serving more fans every year and serving them better, the money all takes care of itself. So if you do that, maybe you'll look back and say, wow, this team, this company, this banana ball is worth more than you could ever imagine. And that's all well and good, but what am I going to do with it?